बार बार वंदन करूं सदगुरुदेव हमारा। यहाँ वहाँ सब ठाम में महिमाय परम। शरण शरण मैं शरण हूँ, हे गुरु बंदे छो मोहि बारो। हे गुरु यह सौ बार आदि अंत और मध्य में शाश्वत जाको से अमृत अंतर्यामी हो। नमो नमो मम देव। A very good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you. Thank you very much for joining this wonderful interactive session on the platform of 30 Days Global Meditation Challenge event program. My name is Subhash Chand and I will be the host for today's session. Today's session, the journey so far we have covered in last 28, 29 days. Today's session is very special again because we are going to have an interactive session with Sant Shri Naamdeo Maharaj on the topic, the higher zone. Based on the schedule, today is 29th day, and this will be the last discussion session for today because tomorrow, the 30 Days Global Meditation Challenge will finish. Tomorrow, we will be having the closure ceremony with a Havan, a Yagya as a closing ceremony, and just some more notification will happen tomorrow. That's why today is the very last session in terms of discussion. And that's why I'd request each one of you, all those who are listening to us, all those who are connected right now on Zoom or even on the Facebook, please take this opportunity to interact with Sant Shri Naamdeo Maharaj by asking question, whatever type you believe related with his spirituality or the topic itself, the higher zone. It will be very nice to hear from all of you. Moving today's agenda, as usual, we are going to have a quick address on what is Vihangam Yoga, and thereafter Swagat Gan and Mangal Gan, and then we will have an interaction with Sant Shri Naamdeo Maharaj on the topic, the higher zone, followed by the vote of thanks, and then the Shanti part. So let us move towards just quick introduction again about Vihangam Yoga. I'm sure most of the people are now familiar, at least verbally, what is Vihangam Yoga, but just for the sake of introduction, allow me to provide some details about Vihangam Yoga. Vihangam Yoga is an organization which was established long back, 98 years back, in 1924 by His Holiness Sadguru Sadafal Devji Maharaj with a specific objective. The objective was very unique, which still continues in the same way. Sadguru Sadafal Devji Maharaj had mentioned that he appeared in this world just out of curiosity, what exactly it is, and there was a specific aim, specific goal for his appearance. And ultimately, after a few years, he realized the ultimate presence of the Almighty, and then was authorized to propagate, will authorize to disseminate the knowledge of Brahma Vidya to the whole world, not just in one particular place, but the whole world. And that's how he took an oath that I will allow to make other people to be eligible in such a way that they can attain the real objective of the life, to liberate themselves, to liberate their life from the life and the death cycle, the vicious cycle which continues for all of us, not just from one birth, but everlasting so many past lives. It's a painful process. Probably we don't realize it. There is a process through Brahma Vidya to come out from this vicious cycle of life and death. This is the single most objective of Vihangam Yoga, and at the same time, one of the most important objective is to uplift the human life in all those aspects, be it physical, be it mental, spiritual, or any angle we talk about. At present, Sadhguru Swatan Dev Ji Maharaj is taking care of the whole system, in and out, everything. And he has been progressing on this particular activity since last more than 50 years. It has been a very long journey. You can understand just by taking example of yourself. If you are on one particular objective, even for 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, how much effort it had to be taken. What about 50 years? What about 55 years? It has been a long journey for everyone. The organization has 6 main centers, out of which the main operational headquarter, international headquarter, is located at Prayagraj, Uttar Pradesh, India. But other 5 centers are equally important. One of them is based in Varanasi. Another one is at foothills of Himalayas. We call it Shunya Shikhar Ashram, where Sadhguru Sadafal Devji Maharaj has meditated in the natural cave, still present there. It is there. You can go and visit that and experience the divinity at that particular place. Sadhguru Sadafal Devji Maharaj has completed Swarved, the encyclopedia of his spirituality, encyclopedia and constitution of spirituality at that place itself. All over around the world, there are more than 300 centers available, and more than 5 million people are being benefited with the principles and activities of Vihangam Yoga. In 2013, Vihangam Yoga got a special affiliated membership of United Nations under the banner of ECOSOC, Economic and Social Council. At present, most of us globally are engaged in one particular specific center, and that is called Swarved Mahamandir Dham, which is located at Varanasi. This structure is so huge, which is 7-story high, is so huge that 20,000 people can sit in this center at one time to meditate together. This center has been built already, and just last year, the Indian Prime Minister visited this center and inspected everything in around everything to know and understand how this center is. And he, from the stage, mentioned that when the Vihangam Yoga is reaching the 100th year in next 2 years, at that time point, this center will be fully operated the way it is. How this particular center has been built, designed, there are so many secrets behind this. Once you visit there, you may be able to understand and learn more about the secrets behind this particular structure. Now, moving towards, after this quick introduction, moving towards the Swagat Gan and Mangal Gan, which is basically a process to invoke the presence of the Master himself. I would like to invite Mahendra Devji, who has connected with us from Germany, to go through the Swagat Gan and Mangal Gan, please. Mahendra Devji.
Thank you, Subhashi. Pranam to Sant Naamdeo Maharaj. Swagat Gan. आज स्वागत नित्य गुरुवर संत शुभागम आइए अध्यात्म विद्या दिव्य ज्योति सोम रस बरसाइए दोष दुर्गुण दूर करके शुद्ध हंस बनाइए भेद गम गति ज्ञान गर्जन शक्ति द्वार हटाइए खुले द्वारा शब्द सागर भक्त जन अनवाइए जन सदा फल विश्व शिक्षक शान आन बचाइए। मंगलगान। विश्व शांति नाम मंगल परम गुरु को ध्याइए। वर्ग द्वंद्व शांति दूर कर भाव भेद मिटाइए। सार्वभौम समष्टि सत्ता ध्यात्म राज बनाइए। वेश भाषा भाव जगमय ज्ञान पर दर्शाइए। समृद्धि सुख शांति धरातल स्वर्ग भूमि बनाइए। विश्व शिक्षक जन सदा फल नीति स्वर अपनाइए। थैंक यू।
Thank you very much, Mahendra Dev ji, for reciting the Swagat Gan and Mangal Gan. Now it's time to interact with Sant Shri Naamdeo ji Maharaj. Although we have been hearing from Sant Shri since last almost a month, I think we have already had session with Sant Shri in past 25 days, 6 times already. And today is the 7th time we are having an auspicious opportunity to interact with Sant Shri. Sant Shri, thank you very much for your divine presence again with us to take us to have the feeling of divine zone, at least in the form of verbal discussion, at least at this stage. And I'm sure this verbal hearing also will impact most of us when we hear from you. In terms of introduction, in terms of giving some brief introduction about Shansri, I think we have been hearing all the times, many times about him. And today I would like to take a very short time to give the introduction about Shansri. But I would start with one specific couplet from Sarved, which I just allow me to recite that, which says, संत न होते जगत में को जानत भगवान कीट स्वान समबीतता जीवन मनुज महान. It's a saint who are actually there for all of us to let us know, let us understand and experience and feel about the presence of the divine, the Almighty. And today, right now, we are fortunate enough to have such a living saint with us, who is the president of International Wing of Vihangam Yoga, who transforms the perspective with his mystic insight. Sant Shri Naamdeo Ji Maharaj has taken a lot of initiative in the past few years for the upliftment of the whole human society. Sukrit group is one such group. Neem trees, another one. We just heard a few days back about Sadafal education. There are many more different initiatives which Sant Shri Naamdeo Ji Maharaj has taken just for the upliftment of simple, every single person. His approach to deal with the practical problems in our day-to-day life is very unique. Once you hear, and I'm sure most of us have been hearing him since last few days, you would have understood, you would have realized that how different way he has, the way he speaks, the way he brings the words to us, it simply hits directly to the heart. At least it happens with me. That's how my feeling is. And I believe most of us would have similar feeling. So not taking too much of time today, I would really like to bow down to the feet of Sant Shri Naamdeo Ji Maharaj to invite him on this particular platform to address us on the topic higher zone. And thereafter, we will have an opportunity to interact with him in terms of question and answer. Please keep your questions ready today. I'm already receiving some questions. Please, you may put down on the chat box, or probably at later time you can raise your hand to ask question directly to Sant Shri Naamdeo Ji Maharaj. Over to you, Shans first, Naamdeo Ji.
Pranam. Shri. Andi Santam Nadahatyande Santam Napashyadi Devasya Pashyakavyam Namamaranadhiryati Om Vedahamedam Purusham Mahantam Adityavarnam Damasa Parastad Tvameva Veditva Mrityumedi Nanyaha Bandha Vidyadeyanaya Vishwani Deva Savidara Duridani Bharasava Yadadram Tannaya Siva Pranam to all, Chance Push. Thank you very much. Thank you again for this wonderful platform. It's an honor to be here today. Again, this is the most significant. When we are able to interact with one another, here's the point of one another, and elevate together. This is what we mean by Sangha. A Sangha is that satsanga. When people of the same divine nature, though they could have different issues in their lives, but they come as a seeker. It feels as if life comes out seeking itself, what it actually means, why I'm here. Is there anything I can do to enhance what I'm doing, or life experiences itself? So today's topic is somewhat related to it, the higher zone. Isn't it a reality that all of us want to enhance whatever we are doing? We want to grow our business. If we are a student, we want to excel at our study. We want to paint the whole town red by scoring really good marks. We want to be just excellent or enhance experiences of life itself. So it is those moments that take your breath away needs capturing. Something that is beyond which this physical body cannot have access to or has not had access to. If that's a fragment of ecstasy, could be somehow accessible or could somehow be made accessible to me, I will feel life getting enhanced. And every one of us, each one of us, wants to feel that, wants to have that feeling. So it is the moments of time when something happens and takes your breath away. You want to capture it. Oh, I want to capture this life. I want to capture that moment that happened this time. Oh, it was such a beautiful moment in my life. You want to recapture it. So usually, this one, as it is, looks mundane. And if it's mundane, it's boring. You think there's no excitement to it. There is not much to it. So it is the curiosity within that wants to capture the moments that can take your breath away. Because this is where the excitement is. This is where the enhancement of whatever it is. Exactly. And you want to capture it. Suppose someone got a promotion and in front of his colleague or any gathering for that matter, got appreciated. People applauded him, clapped for him for about 3 to 5 minutes. And he just lapped it up. He just enjoyed that moment. Now this moment still lingers on in his mind. And this moment, after everything is gone, like everything has moved to next level, where he is just working at a different higher level, things looks mundane. And this is what the human life is. We all want to enhance our experiences. We want to stretch our imagination. We want to just expand ourselves at a workplace, at school, at college, at corporate, wherever we are. Even if we are teaching online, we want to expand. Expansion is our nature. Capturing a life which is more than the image of life itself feels so fascinating to us. That's how we are. There's nothing wrong about it. So those words which feels good to your ears, it doesn't have to mold you in that way. The appreciation that you get from the world does not have to hold you in the highest esteem. It should, it must, but it does not have to define your character. The moment you allow the success and greatness and glory of life to define you, you are missing your own self. You are getting far away from yourself. So the capturing the moment that is not here right now feels very fascinating to you, to me, to everyone else in the world, because that's how the human mind is. The release of those chemicals in the body, in this most sophisticated human physiology, this is the most sophisticated machine that we have. And it craves for that movement because of the attachment with the senses. And we all must endeavor to achieve the zenith of success, and we must. This is who we are. But at the same time, we have to be still, we have to be rooted, we have to come back to our own root. The very spine on which this body in fact rests and operates is the significator of the balance that we must maintain at all times. It is right in the middle of your body and is not that well organized. The energies around that spine is not well organized, is not so aligned with our high purpose. So the very spine from the Mooladhara to the Sasras, and right in the middle, if the spinal cord and the area around it, if it is attuned most constructively to the growth of the self, the expansion of our self, not inflation of our ego, the growth of the self, what you call the Atma Shakti. If it is geared towards it, if it is oriented towards it, you'll find life will make sense and will see opportunity just in everywhere, in all those places where a layman whose the spinal cord is more pulled downwards may not see the opportunity, whereas a person who is more aligned will see opportunities just everywhere. So what happens is, because I don't want to take long, and I will request Sri Subhasji to interrupt me. You have every liberty to interrupt me, because I don't want to speak unnecessarily for long. I just want to confine my words to the topic and what you would like to hear. So please do interrupt me and make it more interactive, ask me questions. So I'm just going towards the end of it within a few minutes. So the most important thing here is to understand what happens when you start operating from a higher level. What are the significators of that? How could I measure? Is there any specific parameters or a yardstick through which I could measure that I am elevated or I am looking life from a higher zone? What is it actually? Tell me. Basically, It is the under the most tragic circumstances. Mostly, it doesn't have to be at all times. Mostly, we come to know our own potential, what we are actually made of. And all the success that you see in the world today has actually come from tragedy, from poverty, from deprivation, from absolutely deprived state, where survival was the question. Would I be able to survive? When the survival comes, you do everything possible to get this body going, at least to eat little food, to keep this body alive. You do that. All of us do that. So in the high state of awareness, in that intensity of it, just on the edge of it, if you are able to walk on the edge of it, walking on the edge is life. Rest is sleeping. Rest is having snack time, if I could say. So if you are on the edge of life, you are at the higher zone at all time. Rest is just waiting. And that on the edge, right here on the edge, as where you are, is all possibilities. And this is who you actually are. So for example, we come across someone and the person who laments about life in so many ways, that the person has to carry out a set of work, carry out these duties, and he feels overburdened with it. It's all right if he doesn't like it. Maybe he will choose to do something else which he would like to. But at times what happens is, if you are elevated, if you have gone beyond the very preferences of your senses, that's where you are the most creative. If you have gone beyond your preferences, you are most creative. The test that we develop restricts us, restricts our growth. Oh, you are addicted to have a cup of tea in the morning. You cannot get out of bed without having a cup of tea. Let's take an example. Or anything for that matter. There could be some greater habits too. So it is not about habits. It is the very fancies of life that you have developed unconsciously works against you as your enemy at all times without your acknowledgement, without you knowing about it. There is a thief that saps your wealth, that takes away, snatch away everything from you. And these thieves are none other than the fancies of life that you have developed. All of us have developed. Let's accept that. So as long as these lower forces are dictating our lives, the creative force cannot come into our experience. It is not possible. The only way we can do it is not to get stuck in these petty pleasures and transient, momentary feeling of ecstasy. It is much more beyond that. Going beyond that will pave the way towards higher dimension, and that dimension will explore you as whom you are. As you get into it, it will tell you about yourself by taking you closer to your own self. So having an interview with yourself is the most significant. Interviewing the world is okay. You could know about the other person. You could know about the other person in much more detailed manner than yourself. That's a tragedy. That's actual tragedy. So from a higher zone, if you look at life, even your breath is a master, is a guru. And there are people who would complain about life. They would complain about many things, and the complaints are genuine. Absolutely. But if the complaints are so overwhelming that the very outcome of the complaint is to get into fight, into physical fight, to become verbally abusive, using derogatory language, defiling your tongue, that's what the problem is. Because there is no solution. There is some drama. So from a higher stage, even there is something out there that has this complaint. Let's say it, yes, there is a complaint. Fine. But that won't turn into physical fight. That won't turn into defilement of my tongue and my body language. I want to stoop so low to that level of mediocrity to be that kind of human being. Absolutely no. I will maintain my composure because I'm rooted within. There is a problem. Yes, of course. It needs to be talked about. Yes. It needs to be addressed. That's right. It needs to be put on the table. Yes, that's right. But we need to resolve it. That is the most significant. So here, what happens is, if you are elevated enough, you would know that each breath has the answer to all your questions. Yes, that's right. Even each breath is so powerful that it can just turn around your life. You are inhaling millions of atoms in your body, and as you exhale, you just take out all the toxic, which is not necessary. In fact, when the awakening happens, the first thing is our breath. So this present movement holds many answers because the questions themselves are mute. Because the awareness is so much, the expansion of yourself is so much that you know that you are the questions and you are the answer. So you are grateful with each breath of your life. If you're not aware of it, then of course, even the opportunities which are presented to us are overlooked, and they wear thin and squandered away after some time. Where an awakened mind will see all of them, maybe work on them. So the most important thing here is to realize one thing that comes with with that higher level of operation. From have to do it to get to do it. Oh, I have to do it. Oh, I get to do this. There is a world of difference between these two sentences. You have to do it, it means you are supposed to do it, or you have no choice. From that zone to you get to do this. So if you treat any work of yours right now, that you have to do this, how would you feel? Whatever you're doing right now at this point in time, at your workplace, at office, at work, if you go with this kind of notion and feeling, and if this feeling consumes you, I have to do this, I have no choice. Maybe I have to make a living. I have a family to take care of. How would you do that? How would the work be like for you? It's cumbersome. But what about turning it around and having the feeling, oh, I get to do this. I get to do this. Now everything transforms. So from a higher zone, everything is you get to do this. And if you don't get to do this, that is also you get to do this because you can resolve it. It means suppose there's something has come up which is not very conducive to your potential, let's say that, and you have to do this, then that have to do this turns into get to do this. Why it does turn to get to do this? Because you know that there's something I have to let go of, something I have to resolve. Maybe I need to cleanse off my karmic debt by doing what is right here. It's an opportunity for me. Though I may like it, may not like it. But anyway, these are just preferences. These are just fancies of life. Am I so weak to give up on those fancies of life? That's mediocritic life. No, I need to rise above. And if you have already risen above, it's okay. So from that higher zone, you have one thing with you, that you can just turn, you have molded yourself in such a way that you are the possibility. Outside realities can be turned into anything by your own dispositions, by your own ways. Doesn't matter what is coming from the world, how things are in the world. They look very different to so many people in so many different ways, but to an enlightened one, it can be transmuted into anything that will be nothing but the symbol of his character. So anything outside of you, if it bothers you, consumes you, takes your feet off the ground, then it is not a place to worrisome, but at least just to come to the acknowledgement of your own reality. Just acknowledgement is good enough. If you could just acknowledge at each moment of your life and truly acknowledge it, that I have these traits, but I have none of these traits. I have operated from these traits enough and over again, and it's enough. I need a way out. Just with this awareness of yours, there will be a way. But yeah, you need to see the way and walk towards it. That will give you a lot of fear. Anything that has potential to change you has this fear factor. It frightens you. Because no change could happen without this frightening moment. No change has ever happened without these scary moments. They frighten you. So just you have to run towards what you fear the most. That's when you can just break off all the illusions and break off all the fancies that you may have adopted, taken up unconsciously. Forever. Break off those illusions. I mean, these illusions are nothing but fancies of life, which appear as a reality of life, which may at times appear as the necessity of life, which are so wrong. Who would you be without it? It feels like that. What would be like? What would be my identity be like? What would my identity be like without these? So once you identify yourself with those fancies of life, you have just restricted yourself. Even though you may have had best of education, you may have been to the best of institutions, but somehow, somewhere, you have restricted yourself. That's the reason why most successful people in the world may not have been to the best of institutes, educational institutes, I mean to say, may not have been the best qualified to do the company they represent. Their workers, employers, or CEOs are down there would have been much more specialized, but they can never become the one who is at top of it. Why? This is the reason. So if anyone wants to reach the zenith of success, the first thing is, the very fundamental thing is to realize from have to do this to get to do this. From the very operation, which is very restrictive, to only pleasing people or creating an environment around us so that people could approve of us, of our actions. Going way beyond than that. It is not about not caring, but it's about knowing what we are supposed to do, what we must do. Because they know that what they can, they must. So all those people whom you see today, who inspire you today, they just do one thing. They do what they must do. That's it. That's what they know. Whereas we feel restricted in doing so. We can't grow out of our own likings or disliking. We cannot grow out of our own dispositions. We cannot grow out of our preferences, our fancies of life, where an elevated person can do without them. And the easier it is for them to do it, the higher they get. That's the secret. So, so, so the most important thing here is that they realize one thing, and that is just so far away from any mundane understanding, and that is that is the tragedies of life. When anything that happens, they never question. This is what I have personally observed in those biographies, and people have talked about their lives. And when you see it, you actually come to realization of what may have transpired in that course of time. That's the most important thing. They never ask questions when something unpleasant happened. So from that, they make a journey. They never say why this has happened to me. Why this has happened to me? I didn't deserve it. Or why the God has been so callous. So no, they never ask these questions. These never come into their minds. In fact, what happens is the same incidents, it feels like life has totally gone, like I have missed it, just gone, I'm gone. The same incident becomes an equipment for their self-growth. That's how they chisel themselves. They carve these tragedies out in such a magnificent way that what we as human beings are made of could be visible to the world, could be tangible to the world. Or this person has done this. So all those people who are pushed to their limits, they are on the edge. They are walking on the edge. That's the life. That's the only life. Rest is just waiting. So the basic characteristics of a person operating from a higher zone is that of the on the edge. So if you are just on the edge at all times, and on the edge, it means that you have the awareness, you live with the intensity of this present moment, because it has the key to answer all your questions. So if your sadhana is not that elevated enough yet, basically it has to do with seva, because as your karma gets cut, that's how you can elevate yourself. That's why you happen to see all the CEOs of a big company. They are very extreme. A layman goes to Switzerland to enjoy life. They go to extreme weather to put themselves under tragic conditions where survival itself is a question. They do that. You just Google it out today. Why they do that? Because they know that the extremities of life create life that deserves capturing. Otherwise, the rest is waiting. And that could happen only once you have gone beyond the physical experiences of life. So whatever you want to do right now, to sum it up, I know that I've taken a lot of time. Whatever you want to do right now, because you want to expand yourself. Basically what you want to to have experience that you have never had before. You want to go way beyond the physical experiences because you have had enough of them. It has given you that zeal, that excitement, what it has to offer you, it has offered you. What else can it give you? Now you cannot find it. Now, and whatever seemed excitement has also turned boring. So the only way to do it, because you want to go beyond the physical experiences, beyond whatever you have had till now, then the only way to do it is just to run what frightens you the most. If you are able to do that, if you're ready to walk on that path, if whatever frightens you the most, if you are able to run towards it, then you will see that you are all the possibilities, and all that thing you have that has been stopping you, holding you back from doing whatever you wanted to do and what you must do, was just a figment of your imagination. Who knows? It was just an illusion, a very thick layer of illusion that you are not able to penetrate in the past, but they just got shattered away on the way. Even you don't realize this as you just walk towards anything that frightens you. Because if it doesn't frighten you, it won't change you. It won't change your perceptual reality. The perceptual reality could be altered only through something which is made of higher order, higher vibration, because you have been vibrating at your space and level. If the same experiences are repeated in different form, texture, and color, it will have the same experience anyway. So it won't change you as a person. But if you really want to go to that higher zone, we all need to go way beyond whatever we have experienced till now. Koti koti dhanyavad, Chancellor. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sant Shri, for these divine words. We have some questions related with awareness and the higher zone. I'd like to ask the very first question, which is from Adarsh Pathak ji. He's asking how to increase the intensity of awareness, as emphasized many a times by most of the people that we should increase our awareness, the intensity. How exactly it can be done?
Yes. Well, we have to keep reminding ourselves where we are. And there are some parameters through which you can measure your own self. Suppose I'm here right now and we are having this kind of spiritual sessions. And after this session, once this session gets over, you just go and meet your friends. Today is Sunday. You would like to go and meet with them. So if you go just after this session, you go there. And whatever you hear from this platform, everything just gets lost. And now you are in a different mode altogether. You are having a lot of fun. And at times, you're just back to your own traits again. Again, in the evening, you go somewhere else. And you are a different person. So you started with a session in the morning. Then you meet your friends. And in the evening, there is a different atmosphere altogether. So all these different tests and colors of life shapes you, doesn't it? Yeah, it shapes you, it does. It just shapes you. But that's where the problem is. We just cannot be defined by everything. Well, this session could be treated equally with the meeting with your friends. Absolutely. There's nothing wrong in it. I'm not saying that this is superior, that is lower. No. It's just that even if you are at bar having drink with your friends, you should be stable. Even if you're at satsang, that's what I mean to say. Well, the example is very extreme. My apologies for that. But what I'm here to say, if you just keep changing the course every half an hour, then the very possibility, even if it is presented to you to change the course of life, will be overlooked by you because you won't be able to sense it, because the awareness is not there. So first of all, the body and mind have to come together at one page. And breath is the connect to that body and mind. If this is out of control, the thoughts are beyond your control. And if your thoughts are beyond your control, if you do not have any control at all whatsoever, then that can turn into physical action. So then, in this scenario, there's nothing wrong, but everything is consciousness. Everything is consciousness. How conscious you are is how aware you are. How aware you are. So the attentiveness at this point in time defines everything about you. How attentive you are. So even if you are at a place where people are totally submerged into having the worldly pleasures or anything they talk is so demeaning, let's say they are complaining about the world, and you find yourself in there, maybe we're traveling in a train and people in a compartment, people are around there talking in such a way that is totally against your grain. It just goes against your grain just to be there in that specific situation where people are just talking negative about everyone, complaining about the world. So the only way you can help yourself, and what the help that you could get is your attentiveness, your awareness. If you are aware at that point in time, even though things around you may be very negative and you cannot avoid, it won't affect you because you know how to shield yourself. As of what happens is you just get into everything. I mean, from a very layman perspective, a layman just get into any atmosphere and just turns to it. All the attention is scattered by the change of situation. That's the problem. So if your attention is changing every half an hour, every 1 hour, then that is a problem. Because you are just absorbing everything that is being presented to you from the world. You don't have your own call. So even if you're aware about that you have to be rooted within yourself, you just cannot get into any conversation, or you just cannot get into any communication with these specific number of people. And it's fine, just become aware about your own self. So the more you are aware, the more attentive you become about yourself, your own aura, the higher the chances are for your spiritual growth.
Ji, Thank you very much, Shri. There's Mr. Omar from Saudi Arabia. I think he wants to ask a question. He could not participate in 30 Days Global Meditation Challenge because of some challenges at his own end, but still, he joined us today just to hear and listen what discussion is going on. So, can I request Mr. Omar to unmute himself to ask the question, please?
Yes, sir. I just have a question of what is your definition of luck?
It is outside of you. And if you are lucky to have luck, you are lucky. Enjoy it. No problem. Suppose that if you do not have that, what you will do? You will just say that, no, I'm not lucky. What shall I do? Now, there's no point. I have no chance. So the choice could be that you lament, you complain about the fact that, oh, I'm not so lucky. This person is so lucky. Though, despite not being so qualified, despite not having this or that, he is there where he is. But despite this person being so qualified, so well-to-do, so well-versed with it, but he's not. Maybe he's not lucky. Well, the person who is so well-equipped, but is still not having found the place where he must and what he deserves. If he just keep complaining about it, and complains, especially complain about the one who has got it without being so qualified, then there is no possibility of growth. So luck, whatever you call luck, at this point in time, is just a figment of your imagination. Luck could be created if it's not there. I would like to know the name of Sheikh, the Sheikh of Dubai. May I know his name? So once he was asked a question that once he was asked, Omar, my brother, he was asked a question by a journalist that Dubai has so much of wealth. Dubai does not have oil, but it is the place of massive financial trade, as you know, but it does not have oil like other Middle East countries. Saudi has, many other countries surrounding it has, but Dubai does not have. But it is the most prosperous. How? So then he says that the journalist asked this question to him, that your forefathers were in camels. They were riding on a camel. And now you have a Mercedes, and it doesn't matter. I mean, you have the opulence. You have opulence of wealth. Now your son and daughter, your son and then your grandson, what will they have? Out of curiosity, you have such an opulence. What about your grandchildren and children? How much wealth they will have? You know what he said, my dear friend Omar? No, they don't have any wealth. They will be back on camels. They will be back on the camels. That's what he said. That's what exactly he said. And then he said one thing, that good times create weak people. Good time creates weak people. This is what his words are. And the weak men create bad time. Because they take fancies of life. They take everything for granted. So they are most privileged one. They are the most luckiest one, because everything has been given to them. Now life has been made so easy to them. If that is not understood, of course, there will be chaos. When the hard time creates great men. Great men creates convenient time, easy time. And easy time creates weak men. That's true. These are these words. Hard time creates great men. So whatever you're calling, whomever we can call lucky, and if they are not able to make use of what they have, they are creating they are of weak characters. And that's what he said, that hard time creates great men. Great men, by their hard work, they create easy time. Like it makes things convenient for all. And that convenience create weak people. And weak people create hard time. And the cycle keeps going on and on and on. Just imagine right now, I'm having a Zoom call with you. It's so convenient, right? But look at the person who envisioned it and turned this into reality. Look at his life. Now it's convenient to me, to you, to everyone else. Almost all of you are using Apple product or some other product. Look at those people. They have made things so easier for us. So whatever you are calling lucky is okay, but hard time create. Just remember one thing: hard time create great men. Great men create easy time. Easy time create weak men. Weak men create hard time again. Then again, someone will come, and in that hardship, something greater will be created. Then it will make things convenient for the people. Then that convenience will create weak people, weak characters, because they will be so much into the test of life. They will be just drowned in pleasing their senses in such an outrageous manner that life will be so restricted. So these are the words from the Sheikh of Dubai, and I like that. I mean, there could be some differences in my wording, but what he wants to convey was the same. That is, no. If those people are not principled enough, they will go back riding a camel. So whatever you're calling lucky time, they're very lucky. Because you see, Zooming Mercedes class is a privilege. But you never know what a man outside of your window, riding a pylon with his brother in a bicycle, has gone through and has had massive success in his life. Maybe he suffered heart attack 4 times in his life, and he's riding a bike or bicycle. And he's alive. He's so lucky that he's alive. Well, the very perspective towards life cannot be just restricted. And I don't know what, I could, anyone, suppose there's someone, a person who is totally devoid of love, hasn't got love, he will see someone lucky who has got love in his life. Maybe the person who has not had money in his life, maybe the person who he will see, or she will see someone having a lot of wealth is lucky. So it is, of course, there are people who are lucky. Of course, that's right. But, I keep saying one thing for sure, that we feel that, I would just like to sum it up. I'm sorry, I'm taking too long. I just want to say at the end that, at times what happens is when you see ourselves, And we all want to be fit. Like I personally want to be fit. Don't want to gain weight and all that. And I say, oh my God, this person, my God, look at this guy, man. This guy eats pizza and everything. And he doesn't get in weight. I gain so much of weight eating. I eat only a few chapatis, and like even I can't eat chapatis because I can't eat I can't eat very sattvic food because I need to really focus on my diet. But suppose that if you see someone having a good time and not sticking to the principles, not principled enough to do what he must do, and you are envious of that, and suppose if you start copying the person, suppose that you gain weight without having much intake of food, whereas someone else who eats so much of food, who gorges on pizza and all kinds of toxic food, does not gain any weight because maybe maybe his metabolism is like that. If your metabolism is like that, of course nothing can be done. He's lucky enough to have that body, so whatever he eats, he doesn't gain weight. But if you do gain weight, do you think you should be following him? Because his metabolism is like that. Because someone is just gifted enough to have those privileges of life. If you're just envious of that, and if you start doing whatever he's doing, which is totally against what you shall be doing in order to make your life rich, make your finances grow, then of course it's not a good decision. So all I can say is the answer is not outside, and the answer is within ourselves. We have to say what we can, and what we can, we must. If we are able to just do this, and our dispositions, our liking and disliking shall not come in between. In what I can, I must. Suppose that if I have enough time, a person who is just earning few thousand of money because he has to make a living. But if I don't have to make that thousands of money to make my living because I have an easy money coming in, if that person who has got the easy money coming in does not make use of his time, then that's a tragedy. Tragedy, why? Because a person is totally, the other person, just to make that thousands of money, he works 30 days a month. You see. So here you are lucky, not having to work for 30 days to make the same amount of money, which you get anyway so easily. Maybe that money is at your disposal because of the family that you are born into, because of many privileges. But if that is not utilized, the privilege is dishonored, then that's quite a misappropriation of what has been bestowed upon you. So the only thing that you should know, and any one of us know, including myself and anyone for that matter, is to know about who we are, to come close to ourselves. That's why awareness comes in again. You need to be aware about what you're doing. That's it. And by just awareness, intensity of awareness, you know that these are the fancies of life that I have developed, because of which I am not able to do what I must do, but I can do. All of us feel that, don't we? So if we could just pray that, oh Almighty, whomever we believe in, that just help me do what I can do, because what I can do, I must do. If you know only this, I'm sure that you were lucky. You are lucky in that understanding. You are lucky in that knowing. You are lucky in that understanding itself. Those who are not able to know it, even though they have it, anyway, they will squander it away one day. They'll realize before they could regret, everything will be lost. So lucky is a very big thing, but through all this explanation, I'm sure that one thing is for clear, that knowing yourself. Because the Sheikh of Dubai, he knows what he has created, what hard time has created. Out of sand, opulence of wealth has been created. So he knows the process, and he is aware about it, and he is making very judicious use of what he has created. So if you are in that awareness, you would behave exactly the way you must. So whatever you can, you must. Whatever we all can, we all must.
Thank you, Shansi. It's so interesting to hear. And in fact, there is one particular point which has been raised by 4 of the listeners right now. And I'm just combining all these 4. One was asked by Prachiji from France long back, but just right now, Gajendraji from Czech Republic, Chandanji from Singapore, and Prabhaji from Malaysia. All of them have very similar question about one thing, and that is, how to keep ourselves or the self motivated enough to perform something. Many times when something starts, the enthusiasm is very high, but when the problem comes in front, then the enthusiasm goes down and people are on roller coaster kind of thing, up and down, up and down. How to keep the pace the way it has to be so that the movement and the progression towards the higher zone is possible.
Yeah, I think consistency with the failures will create success. And not consistent with the with whatever we have been going through will not create any results. So the only way you can do it, because it can be just summed up in 1 2 sentences, that how to keep ourselves motivated enough to keep going after up and downs, after receiving many setbacks. The only way to do is each time you meet with the failures, each time you are knocked down, you get up. Each time you are knocked down, you get up. Each time you are knocked down, you get up. That's the only way it is. I know it's much easier than done, and anyone could have said so. I understand that. My apologies, but that's the way it is. That the only way you can actually, the only way you can get up after you have been knocked down is knowing the fact that you have improved yourself each time you have been knocked down. So each time that you have been knocked down, you should know that you have gotten up, having been improved. Each time you got up, having been knocked down, you have become a better version of yourself. You may not realize it. You will realize only after many gets up, after having been knocked down. You won't realize it. You see, you won't realize all the great things that you have done unless you have come to some surface. So of course, the person have been digging there, digging and digging and digging. But you will see it, that you are able to, it's maybe an inch deeper, or maybe a 2 inches deeper. But you are so close to success. You're so close to attaining it, and you don't know it. You're so close to it, but you feel like giving up. The only way you can do it is get up each time you have been knocked down, and know that you have made headways. Trust me, you indeed have made headways. Like anything that has not worked, it has stressed you. And anything that has been stressed cannot come back to its originality. It's not my words, it's the words of the science. Scientists say that. So if there isn't any elasticity, you just stretch it. it would never come back to its originality. There is some improvement there. So each time you have been knocked down, as you get up, you have become better. And you will realize at times that these are not knockdowns at all. These are the privileges of life. So once you reach to that level of understanding, then your perspective will change. This is where you need to reach. This is exactly where you need to reach. Because at this point in time, what is happening is the reason why you're feeling what all of us are feeling, like not staying up the pace, not moving with the same pace as we should, because the very perspective has not changed. The way we look at and treat things in life has been the same, is the same, and is likely to be the same. If that is disrupted or interrupted by some divine intervention, when the perspective changes, everything changes, life changes, absolutely. So you will realize, no, these things happen, but now I have changed my perspective. These are not knockdowns. They are the real privileges. They are the real tools. They are the real equipments with which we can help ourselves. So the reason why you're feeling so deflated or not motivated enough after having received setbacks is the fact that the way you have treated with what has gone not so right has not been so right. I mean, we have not been able to deal with it so rightly. So I think it will happen only with the time. My prayers for all of you, for each one of us, that we reach to that level where any connotation or definition of what has happened does not define us. Once we all reach to that level, well, where these circumstantial realities do not define our character, do not define us, we would start behaving with them differently, from a different vintage point of view, from a different perspective. And that perspective is exactly what is needed. That higher zone, as the today topic is what actually is needed. If that comes about, everything will change.
Thank you so much, Shri. There is one more question I have received, but before that, I'd like to check with participants here if anyone wants to raise your hand to ask question directly to Shri. Okay, so just last question, Shri. Many a times we may receive false indication from the mind. People may have illusion thinking that, yes, this is the right, but actually it may not be right. So how to overcome such kind of false indications through mind, if at all, any one time?
Mind is the most magical thing. And first of all, we need to create a very harmonious relationship with our mind. That's the only thing that's the only thing I would like to say. That we need to create a very, would you like to keep a bad company? Physically, you won't like to have a bad company. The other person, you don't like to have a bad companion to your journey. You don't want to have a bad company at all. You want to have a good company. So mind cannot be sane, but the first thing that we all must do, that we get out of this thoughts that mind is this or mind is that. No, don't blame mind, because it's just that you cannot see mind, you blame it. I do hope that, people blame God as well, because people do not see God. So if they cannot see Parampurus Paramatma, God is also to be blamed. So mind is also to be blamed. So I would rather say that we need to create a harmony with our mind. We need to make our minds a good friend. And mind is an absolute great tool. So first of all, we should practice creating that very space where I and mind could become one or become a good friend. When mind is a friend, that's why in Svarved and in Bihangam Yog Siddhant, Manha is Agantuk Chetan. It is not enemy. Swamiji didn't say that. Sadhudev Bhagwan, he did not say that man is your enemy. No, he never said that. He said Agantuk Chetan. It means that it has the potential to become conscious, or it can be turned. Agantuk Chetan hai. Agantuk Chetan ki avastha. So all we have to do is that we have to take the mind towards its origin. And Akshar Mandal, I mean, again, the Pranam and Man, and then it comes, all the concepts start coming in. So not going into that. All we are saying is making mind conscious. Again, the awareness comes in. So we have to, I mean, at a very preliminary stage where we are right now at this point in time, we first make up our mind that mind is our friend. We make up our mind that mind is our friend. Mind is our ally. It is the mind capacity which has created this platform for us, you and me and everyone, to come together and talk on a Zoom and to see each other. It is the mind capacity. So why are we, I mean, look at where you are in a different time zone. So many people from different time zone altogether, all are connected together and having this session, probably enjoying it, learning something from it. This is what mind has created. Shouldn't we all be proud of it? I think we should take a lot of pride in being a human, because we are gifted with this mind and intellect. A dog is not, a puppy is not, a lion is not, any animal, any species other than human being is not, because they are just instinctively driven, because our software has been installed. They have been programmed to behave in a certain way. That's the way it is. And they cannot help it. But we human beings have mind. It is so capable. So the only way to kind of not to fall into trap is to realize there's no trap. And if you're able to see through it, that's the best thing. So just say to your mind that the very definition of anything that is created out of any chaotic situation is not me. It's not me. Sorry. It's not me. So any situation outside of me, if it is created, and that affects me so much that it becomes my life itself, no, I'm not going to allow that. So anything that is happening outside of you shall not define you. If it defines you and makes, and it changes the course of your life, if you could allow that, it's all okay. It's okay. You can always change the course. But we need to create the harmony with the mind. It depends on the situation that you are in. But 80% of the problem are psychological. If one is suffering from a psychological problem because he cannot deal with it, then it can be done. 80% of the human problem are mostly psychological. If that is affecting their life and the choices, it's an opportunity that has gone wrong. It's an opportunity that has turned upside down, turned into a tragedy. So what could have been the opportunity has turned itself into a tragedy. That's not fair. So just make your mind. It's just that this guy did not like me, or or this person didn't behave that way. I went with a proposal or business proposal or that proposal, or this person said this, or this person behaved that way. I did so much for that person did not do this back to me, XYZ. And I mean, 80% of the human complaints and problems are only to do with the very psychology of your mind, which is not you anyway. So I know it's easier said than done, but just knowing itself, then awareness itself is good enough. At least you know it shall not define you. Because a lot of people in the world planet, they are just walking their mind. They are walking every thought. They are walking every thing. Because there's no filtration, right? There's no filter. That's why they are so anxious. They are carrying with so much of excess of baggage of anxiety and frustration over things and life and circumstances, because they have allowed things to overtake their lives unconsciously. So if one is able to declutter their space and create a level playing field with the mind, we can have a conversation with the mind. Hey, hi, what's up, man? You cannot define me. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And pray that we could be friend, and you could be Agantuk Chetan getting towards the higher consciousness, not be pulled down. And I think we could create a harmony. So I would just say that one thing: create a harmony, create a very loving relationship with your mind. Say I love you to the mind. Who knows? It becomes one with you one day.
Thank you very much, Shri, for these wonderful words and blessings. I think now the time is there to end the session. And I'd like to really thank you. I know yesterday night you didn't have proper rest. I believe you were, I think from WhatsApp communication, I was able to figure it out. Thank you very much for your effort and time. It was an honor to have you here. Thank you very much for your blessings and clarifying most of the questions what the participants had. And here we would end the discussion with Shri. And in fact, today is our last day of discussion. So one more time, I'd like to thank you and pray to Sadhguru to keep us connected so that we can have more future sessions in a similar way, probably, or in a much more better way, so that all of us can be able to enhance ourselves to a enlightened state. Thank you very much, Shri. Charles to you. Thank you.
Charles, thank you very much. It's an honor, absolute honor and privilege to be here on this platform. And I was able to interact, and I would just request that all of you please send the report to Subhashji, and because this has been work where a work of that nature which has helped all of us, and it is for each one of us growth. So we must send the report that will help further having more sessions like this, which will help humanity at mass. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Shri. So now from here onward, we would move towards the vote of thanks in a way. And of course, there is no words to thank Shri in a way. But once again, thank you very much, Shri, being with us. Thank you, Mahendraji, for doing the Swagat Gan and Mangal Gan. Gajendraji will do very soon the Shanti part. Thank you very much, Gajendraji. Both of you have been connected almost each and every session and participating and providing a wonderful, valuable contribution to this platform almost every day in terms of Shanti part or Swarit part in one way or another. Thank you very much for your effort. And Chandanji and Omji for your effort in the backside to let things happen the way it has to happen. Thank you very much for all of your effort. Just to remind each one of you, this is the second last day of the meditation. Tomorrow, the challenge will over. Today is the last day, so please meditate as you have started this journey. Submit your reports on just last 2 days, what we are left with. Even if some difficult situation comes because of one or another reason, we just heard from Shri also, please keep on moving, push yourself in at your adverse conditions. Even if you have any further questions, please ask. I would just like to emphasize one more thing. We will be releasing a feedback form once the whole challenge will be over, so that we can hear from you in a much more detailed way. Whatever your questions, your feedback, or anything you want to share, please, you should fill it honestly so that we can improve on the one which we just created for these 30 days. Next time when we do, we would present it in a much more better and efficient way so that it could become more and more convenient for everyone. Tomorrow, just to highlight, we will have a closure ceremony with Havan Yagya, which is scheduled at 5 p.m. Singapore time. It will be roughly around 1 hour, and then some more notification will be mentioned after finishing off the Havan. The result of the challenge will be published after 1 day. And just to emphasize, I will drop down this message in the WhatsApp group and everywhere also, that the website right now, which we are publishing, who is scored how much, etc., will be stopped at the end of today, because we need to correct some of the user IDs which were wrong here and there, and those things which may take some time. And we want to make it a little bit more exciting after the end of the session so that we can pop out with the actual result, who is on top, who has done how much effort, and etc. Everyone who has participated in submission of the report, you will receive a certificate of participation, as well as those who will complete the 30 days meditation challenge, you will receive a completion certificate also. Some prizes are also there, which will be declared once the whole challenge will be over. And believe me, one more thing, this right now 30 days meditation challenge is not just for 30 days. Actually, all these platforms, which right now you can see on the slide, is shown, all different countries are there. The practice sessions are available. These will continue in each and every country, so that you can still go and practice with all of us, have more networking, understand more about what Vihangam Yoga philosophy is, how the principles behave and work, and all those kind of things will continue as it is. So this platform in all of these countries, they exist as it is, as these are, and you just need to continue your journey. Don't think that after 30 days, everything is over. No, it is not actually. It's just that, yes, 30 days, every day event, what we used to have, that will not happen the way right now it is happening, but the practice will continue as it is. I would like to thank one more time today to all those group of people, companies and organizations who supported this wonderful event, which we did for the first time. Thank you very much for your efforts. And now, at the end, I'd like to invite Gajendraji, who has connected with us from Czech Republic in the morning, to do the Shanti part, please. Gajendraji.
Vasudev, Sant जी साष्टांग प्रणाम, आप सभी को प्रणाम। शांति पाठ। हे प्रभु शांति स्वरूप हो, शांति शांति में शांति, शांति शांति जन शांति हो, पूर्ण शांति में शांति। हे प्रभु शांति प्रदान कर, दूर हो सर्व अशांति, देव सदा फल शांतिमय, शांति शांति सुख शांति। जय सूर्य।
Thank you very much, Gajendraji, for the Shanti part. And here we are at the end of today's session. Once again, thank you very much, each one of you, for your efforts, for your time. Please do feel free to go to the Facebook page or the event calendar on the website. If you have missed any one of the past sessions, all those sessions, be it related with Ayurveda, related with the Rangoli, or related with the sketching or painting for the kids, the fitness session, Sadhguru Safaldev education session, and everything, whatever is there, it is kept for you to go and revisit, to learn more in future whenever you require. Please stay connected. Thank you very much. Have a nice time ahead. Jai Sadhgurudev.